Welcome to the Leading Second podcast, a space to help church leaders thrive in the second chair. Today's conversation will help you embrace your calling, get it right with your pastor, and lead in an uncommon way. Let's jump in.
Well, hello, Leading Second. Welcome back to the Leading Second podcast. My name is Brandon Stewart. We are so excited and I would say honored to have you in this space today. We've created the Leading Second podcast to facilitate conversations from the second chair. We just want to take you into the life, the world, the space of leaders, just like you and I who are navigating life in the second chair in church ministry in hope that we can all be found faithful over what God has given us to steward in ministry. So welcome to this space. Please hit subscribe, follow however you receive your content here. And of course, it would help the ministry out greatly if you would share this episode with someone in your world. Let us come alongside you. And I want to remind you that Leading Second has a whole suite of resources available for you to use with your team. Leading Second Plus, our site for online courses and video resources, is now free, people. It is available free of charge. Use it with everyone on your team. Help them set up accounts and subscribe. I believe that'll be a great blessing to you. We've recently released a new online course called Lead It Like You Own It, because we also released a book by that title over the last couple months. Another resource, again, for you to use with your team to help move your team to greater ownership. So enough with the commercials today, but our heart, our mission is to want to equip you to win with your team, equip them in ministry, equip them to lead second. Okay, today I am so excited to have a great friend in ministry joining us for the podcast today, Pastor Jody Franke.
Thank you.
From Keystone Church.
Yeah, excited to be here, Brandon.
Keller, Texas. And I just have to say, I call you my neighbor. I don't think we actually live close to each other, but we certainly live now a whole lot closer than
we're in the
Plain
Metroplex
Flight.
Together.
The Metroplex. That's what they call it around here.
That's
the
right,
Metroplex.
The Metroplex.
So I'm calling you my neighbor. Love that we're theoretically just down the street.
You're a Texan.
From y'all now. I'm trying. I got cowboy boots on today.
Cowboy boots on.
According to a couple pastors out there, these are like not real cowboy boots.
No.
They're like the good looking ones. Like they're not work boots. So what I'm learning about Texans is you're never like those who move from the West Coast. It's going to be a long time before I'm a Texan.
Yeah,
that's what I'm learning.
Come on in. The water's warm. You've got your boots. Get you some Mexican food, and you're a Texan.
Yeah, the kind of the vibe down here is you're welcome, but you're still kind of not one of us.
Right.
Like you
We're sizing you up a little bit.
Maybe. I have a driver's license here now, so
that's big.
I mean, we're making progress. We're making steps. Hey, we love you, and we love your church.
Thank you.
Love your family. We were just talking about your kids in college. Yeah. I mean, I love everything God's doing in your life. For those who don't know you, give us the briefest of bios.
Okay, a brief bio on me. Married to Amy, 26 years this June.
Wow.
Yes, love her. Met in college, and she is she's everything. I mean, outside of my relationship with Jesus, she's the rock of our home. We have 5 kids. Corbin, who's 21, and then I have Jace, who's 19, Cody, who's a junior in high school, Keaton, who's a 8th grader, and then my little daughter, Austin, who's in 6th grade. So 5 kids, a lot of noise, a lot of chaos, a lot of parties, a lot of going, a lot of coming.
I love it.
It's a lot of activity in the Franke house right now.
We are just entering high school world. This fall, we'll have a 9th grader, public high school for the first time in her life. Of course, we're going straight to the 6A Texas high school. I'm saying I've watched you. You've navigated high school life, for a long time now with your family. Your kids are brilliant, by the way.
Thank you.
I respect you and your marriage and how you guys carry yourselves in ministry. So thank you for a great pattern in ministry.
It's a fun season. For us, it's a transition season for us because we're about to marry off our oldest. And so that's a little unique for Amy and I as we're kind of moving further and further away from the sidelines and more into the stands a little bit, just to kind of cheer her and her awesome fiance, soon to be husband on. And so we're thrilled for them, but it's a transition season because I've got someone who's about to be married, my oldest, and then I still have a sixth grader. So it's
What's the age gap there?
about 10 years. Yeah.
So here's what's funny. So we both, our oldest to youngest are 2 months shy of 10 years apart. You just did it 3 more times in the middle. You know, we have like,
Right.
like,
What were we thinking?
and I think you've at least got a couple weddings in there
We do.
to pay for. So I feel that, I feel that as well.
Yes.
Hey, I'm just so excited to dive into life in the second chair today. And again, I think the purpose we feel of these conversations is just to give people a pattern. What does it look like to run faithfully in the second chair? We're going to have a kind of, I think, a wide ranging conversation today, but I just want to hear your thoughts and your perspective on the second chair and how you've navigated some of that over the course of your life and your ministry. First thing though, is we're just going to get to know you a bit.
Okay.
I don't think we don't do this often enough. I want to do this more on the podcast. My first question for you is, what sports team gets the TV reserved for Jody when they're on? I know you can't hit everything with that many people competing for the TV, but what's the one that gets the reserve sign?
I mean, fall football here is Cowboys with my boys on the couch for sure. I mean, it's Dallas Cowboys. Oh yeah, for sure. That's just something I heard
there's not a lot to cheer about though.
You know, it's the life of a Cowboy fan. You just learn to embrace it.
That's what I hear.
It's part of it.
But this is our year,
Next
right?
Year's, that's right. Next year's the year. This year's the year. That's right.
Yeah.
So, for me, sports is always just how can I incorporate my family with it? And so if my boys are into it, I'm into it. And so, and now with 2 down in College Station, I'm an Aggie fan. So I go to some games, and it's just we're drinking the Kool-Aid, and we're in College Station a lot. So let's go to some games. And so it's a lot of fun.
I think this is right. There's no city in America, maybe outside of Dallas, no city in America I've been to more than College Station, Texas, and I've never been to a game.
You got it.
That is absolutely criminal.
You've got to get to a game.
My very first day in like 2013, I want to say, my very first day driving into town to go serve a church there, A&M was playing Alabama at home.
Ooh.
And I tried way too last minute to get tickets, and I'm just too broke for that level of a game. I think it was like their first year in the SEC or whatever. So
we got to go to a game together.
I'm here in front of everybody. I'm taking you for your word on that. Okay, so are you a morning person or a night owl or somewhere in between?
You know, I think when we had kids a little younger, I was definitely more of a morning person, just because kids woke up earlier and the day started a little differently. Had to be. And so when you put kids down at night, it's like, we're done. We're so tired. We're going to sleep just to survive. As our kids have gotten older, that rhythm has changed, as we want to be a place in our home where the fridge is always stocked, the party's always welcome. And when you choose that kind of life to say, hey, we want to allow friends to come over at any point, sure, stay over, grab whatever you want, jump out in the pool. For us, when you choose that, you got to choose a different rhythm. And so we definitely kind of shifted that to more of a late night feel. And sometimes, your kids don't always want to talk to you on your timeline and your schedule.
Hey, this episode is supported by Goff Companies, a construction and planning team that serves churches across the U.S. What sets Goff Companies apart is that they don't start with blueprints. They start with your ministry vision. Their team includes pastors, architects, and builders who help churches plan, design, and build facilities that actually support ministry how you want it. From strategic planning to financing to the construction management, they walk with church leaders every step of the way. So if you're thinking about expanding or building in the future, learn more at goffcompanies.com.
And so being available in the kitchen, serving your kids, serving their friends, it's amazing how those simple opportunities have unlocked conversation that have built our relationship with our kids.
Well, so hold on. I need to understand this. So I guess the first thing I'm asking is, what's your natural?
Okay.
Because you just gave me the really good ministry answer, and I want to talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But do you not like? left to yourself, are you morning or you? I pictured you as a morning person.
I am probably not a morning person. I'm
Really?
not up at 6 a.m. I could be, only to fish maybe. I'll get up early to go fish. I'll do that.
All right.
But I'm not naturally getting up at 5:30. I'm naturally probably later into the night.
So this more matches you.
Yeah, for sure. It works
Okay.
well. When we were having young kids, I was like, what are we doing? I want to hang out later with Amy, but it just wasn't working. We were so tired to get up early with kids. So, but now it's Amy and I've kind of aligned in our rhythm of time, but I'm definitely more of a night guy probably.
All right.
Yeah.
That surprises me a little bit, but okay. What's your favorite day in the gym? Are you a leg day guy?
No, I'm not doing leg day. I should do leg day, but over the last
you CrossFit, like what's your?
No, I don't do
your day?
CrossFit. I do a lot of hot sauna work. I do a lot of yoga. This is going to be really random.
Wow.
I do
Hot
yoga
yoga?
in a hot yoga sauna. Yes, I do a lot of stretching with my weights, and so I've been doing that for probably 6 years now. And so I'll do the hot, and then I'll do some cold plunging along with it. Just more of a mental discipline.
Wow.
Just to lead myself through it. It's been a good thing for me. So just the older I'm getting closer to 50. I'm not there yet, but I committed to my boys probably 6 or 7 years ago. I was like, hey, I want to be stronger and better and more fit at 50 than I was 40. And that's not just going to happen. And so my doctor's like, you need to do more weights, you need to do more stretching. And so that's what I've embraced. A little less cardio, but I do some stretching.
I'm feeling the conviction of the Lord on the stretching right now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh, and it's there's a reckoning sometimes when I get in that hot sauna and do some stretches. It's not good, but I always feel better when I leave.
I wrote these questions in, and I'm not sure what I was thinking, because now we're going to go to the complete opposite end of life. And I was going to ask you, are you team Whataburger or team In-N-Out? Both are available in the Metroplex. Choose your answer carefully. I have a significant passion on this. I don't eat a lot of fast food, but I have a little bit of a passion on this topic for a couple of reasons. You're going to be Whataburger, aren't you?
I'm probably more team Whataburger.
Oh, God.
Please judge me. It's fine.
None of these questions have gone how I thought they were going to go so far today.
Good. That's a good podcast.
Why Whataburger, though? It's trash.
I'm not really a burger guy. Okay. So I'm not like trying to chase down the best burger in town. And so I'm definitely more of a water chicken guy. So I get a chicken sandwich at Whataburger, and my kids like Whataburger more. So, and there's a convenience factor to it, Brandon. Like when you're going, it's like, hey, if I've got to do fast food quick, I'm not going to drive an extra 15 minutes to this location. Whataburger's on the way home, so it's a lot easier.
All right.
So your team,
yes.
Okay, you're not a Whataburger fan. You will. Just give yourself
I
time.
view it as high class, low class, but we'll just leave
it's
that.
honest. I receive it. It's fine.
We'll just leave that for another episode. Okay, so what's your favorite date night spot? You don't need to give away all the secrets, but I do need some good places to take my wife out.
Need some local recommendations in Dallas Fort Worth.
But what my point is, when you guys are going out, where are you going? What do you like to do?
I mean, Amy and I love a good steak. So
we finally align.
Good. Yeah, we're there. Medium rare.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The only way.
Okay, good. Thank you. And so where we are, I mean, Bob's Steakhouse is a great option if you want to have a great steak for a celebratory night. I mean, we do Bob's. We'll do, if we're going to do fun Mexican food, we're going to go to Joe T's downtown Fort Worth. I mean, that's going to be a great atmosphere.
All right.
Have you heard of Joe T. Garcia's yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's a must for the family.
Okay.
Great atmosphere, classic Mexican food. And here's the reality, Brandon. When you ask this question in Dallas Fort Worth, what's your favorite dinner spot? Maybe like in the Pacific Northwest, there's going to be 10 different answers, right? So whether it's barbecue, Mexican food, I'm going to probably think more quality of food, but then also atmosphere.
Okay.
Like, what's the atmosphere like?
All right.
So some people, they don't care about the atmosphere. It's more of it's a check for me.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say Joe T's. We're not big sushi people. I enjoy sushi. She does not. But there's a great new steakhouse in Dallas called Nuri Steakhouse. It's very, very good. You should check that out too.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
Trying to help you out.
You just made me look like a hero on our anniversary later this year.
Yeah.
So remind or tell our tribe for the first time, how did you end up in the second chair in ministry? Was this the lane, that you always saw yourself in, or how did you end up here doing what you do?
I would say I never saw myself. It was never a destination like I want to be in the second chair. For me, since I entered ministry later, I was in the marketplace for 15 years, and then later in ministry, later in my life, made the call. My family said yes to full-time ministry. And so when I got in as a part of Keystone, which is the only church I've ever been a part of from a staffing side, I've never been a part of a different church. For me, it was just like, I get to be at the table. I get to be a part of the team. Truly, I was just grateful that we got to be a part of it. And so I never really saw myself as second chair. That's the goal. How can I be right up next to my leader? And I think over time, God began to align that vision for my life with the call. And for me, it was never a desire to say, let's go do this. It was, okay, God, what are you doing? And if you're doing it, I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to help. Truly, that was my heart from the get-go, is Brandon, Susan, how can I come alongside of Keystone and be a help? And I would say over time, there were definitely things that I would feel like, I think I view this a little different than maybe the rest of the team. I see it a little different. And it wasn't that I was like, I see it differently and you see it wrong or I see it right. I just saw things a little different. And over time, God began to confirm that as, okay, you are going to come alongside these two leaders as they lead their church and really help align the rest of the team with them. So there was never a deep desire in my heart to say, hey, can I be the second chair? It was just, God, what are you doing?
I feel like I'm ready to walk away from ministry. It's actually something I heard from a leader as we were talking about their leadership journey in the second chair. They felt alone, they felt isolated, they felt like they didn't have the wisdom to continue. But because of leading seconds coaching groups, they stepped forward, they joined a cohort, they gained wisdom, they gained peer relationships, and it really changed the trajectory of their ministry. And I believe the same could be true for you. If you're needing to take a next step in your ministry journey, if you're looking for greater relationships, looking to increase your capacity and walk in your authority, we've designed a coaching experience to help you thrive right from your seat, right in the middle. I want to encourage you to apply for Leading Seconds coaching groups.
Don't you think everyone's journey in ministry is different? And it's irrational to think that everybody would be at the same church forever. I mean, my story, I was in the same church for over 40 years, and so not everybody will or should have that experience. But there's something about stewarding ministry in the place that you are called, right? Where because it doesn't feel like a career. It doesn't feel like a career path or a stepping stone, and for those that maybe have now moved on or are different places or, all of that is fine and good, but it's almost like there's something special about getting back to that point,
right,
of remembering why you got in the first place. Because none of us probably were gunning for something at the beginning.
Right.
It was never about a title. It was never about compensation. It was about the obedience to the call.
That's right.
Of God. But then as any career path would probably go, somewhere along the way that can get muddied.
Sure.
Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And I'm just loving the clarity of your conviction around that, because I think it reminds us the importance of getting back there and staying there.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes you have to be reminded.
Sure.
You have to, God reminds you. There's moments of humility that hit you, that remind you why you're doing this. There's talking points in my heart that I tell myself. If I'm listening to maybe a voice of the enemy of, and you deserve this, or don't they know who you are? Don't they know what you've done? I think these are little voices on our shoulder sometimes that can creep in and build division within our own heart of calling versus what I deserve. And so I've dealt with those feelings. I've dealt with those. I've processed that with people in my life. I think that's very natural. The longer you're at a place, the more settled you become, then the more opportunity there is for just maybe a habit that I deserve this because I've been here long enough. I think that's just a natural broken tendency that our heart can settle into.
Sure.
And so to just give language to it, verbal process it with people, I think would be very healthy for a leader.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm going to ask you a question I've not asked often enough.
Okay.
But I want to ask more of leaders. I learned this question when I was writing the book. And one of the questions the publisher asked me was, it's basically about a watershed moment or a moment that matters. You know, the question in that context was, what was the moment where you knew you had to write this book? Like, what was the moment where everything changed, where you navigated something, where you realized, my life is now going to be forever different? Because that's where the gold of life and leadership is. So my question for you is there a moment for you that was a watershed moment in your life and in your leadership journey, a moment that you could say genuinely changed the trajectory of your life and in ministry? You know, one of those moments, there's a lot of moments in life that don't matter. But every once in a while, we arrive at a moment where we make a choice, and that choice forever changes and alters us. What are one of those moments be for you?
I would think the first call that I had to ministry was a watershed moment. My personality is such that once I take the step that I'm in. I'm not looking for the out. I'm not looking for the off ramp. Once I've set the course, once I'm in, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's go. And so I wouldn't say within ministry there's been this moment, this watershed moment. I think the watershed moment for me was I was in the marketplace. I was in a business with outside sales, and my family was thriving. We just had our third kid. And then all of a sudden I get a call one day from an old friend. And he basically calls me out and says, Jody, I feel like you're called to ministry. I'd love for you to come be a part of what we're doing. Gosh, out of the blue, I had just moved my family to a new city for this business I was a part of. And it was a total shift of, God, this is the plan over here that Amy and I had for our family. The watershed moment for me was, Amy, would you and I be willing to pray about this? And over a year process, we prayed about it. And the watershed moment for us was crossing that and saying, we're all in. We have not looked back since then, Brandon. There has not been a moment within the ministry that we thought, is this for us or not? Are we in or are we out? Have I doubted in different moments the leadership ability? Yes. Have I doubted certain moments the decisions that we've made? Yes. But I've never had a moment where, God, I'm asking you to lead me through whether we're called to do this or not. And so whatever the next assignment is, God, and that may be the ministry answer, that may be the pastoral answer, I don't know. That's just my answer. My answer is, when God has called us to take a step and risk something, we did it.
Yeah.
When God has called us to give something that we didn't feel like we could give, we gave it. So I wouldn't say there's this powerful moment where we crossed the Jordan. For us, it was call to ministry, and ever since then, I've just been building moments of family, calling, ministry, sacrifice.
So you mentioned the fact that you had a degree of friendship with your pastor before he was your pastor.
Right.
I wanted to talk to you about leading up, but let's go on that trail for a minute, because now you got me intrigued. I think we can get this a little mixed in second chair life. Wouldn't you agree? How do you balance friendship and being under authority with your pastor. Now, everyone has a different relationship with their pastor. Traditionally, my pastor has been more the age of someone like who could be my dad, Pastor Kevin and Sheila. They would be like spiritual parents, and they still are our ministry's oversight. Here locally now, our family's pastor here locally, we attend a different church because we live someplace different. And now my pastor's more my age, more like a brother. I'm having to deal with this a little bit more. He's my friend first, before and I can call him pastor. I fully can. In fact, I felt like I asked myself if I could before we even moved here. I would just love to hear how you've navigated moments of friendship, but being under authority. What's your journey been like in that regard?
Well,
have you found yourself in that?
I met, of course, all the time. I met my pastor when I was 14 years old. That's when Brandon Thomas stepped into a leadership moment in my life at a summer camp. And there was this camp experience that him and I had together with a couple other leaders. He was in college at the time, and he was coming back to be just a small group leader at our church camp that his dad pastored and I was a part of. And he was cool Brandon leader that was laughing at all of our jokes, but then would lead us spiritually. And so that's when I first really connected with Brandon Thomas. I knew Susan Bohannon, who is now Susan Thomas, at that same church when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
So I've known the both of them for many, many years. Our families have been deeply connected, still are. I'm saying my parents, their parents. It's a web of connection. And so he's always been a leader voice in my life. He's been there for powerful moments of commitment in my life, of challenge in my life, of moments of when I'm getting married. I mean, speaking into all these different leadership moments that I've walked through the calling, all that. And so he's always been my pastor, always. And so, but at the same time, to your question, there's a friendship there. There's a powerful thing that God has given, and I can only say it's this: God has gifted that to us.
That's
and
great.
So for me, it's not how can I balance it. It's how can I steward it. And when I steward it, I have to be very self-aware of the relationship and the dynamic at play. So he is my pastor first, but he's my friend.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to categorize that, where SWOT analysis, what are you? It's relationship. So when we're fishing together, it's relationship, it's pastoring. When we're in a struggling moment within leadership at church, it's pastor, it's friend, it's leader. We don't really take the hat off or put the hat on.
So, and that's fair. But okay. And I appreciate what I'm hearing from you. It's kind of come to you naturally.
Yes.
I'm not saying without work, but it's come to you naturally. But there's got to be some sort of spoken or unspoken expectations of each other in there. Would you be able to give voice to any of that? I mean, I'm sure that, again, whether it's intuitive or you've actually had to sit down and work with it, I'm sure you've come to some sort of an agreement there of how that's going to work. What does that look like for you?
It's happened in the context of relationship, and we definitely verbally process a lot of things together.
Okay.
And so in that verbal processing, I, as the second chair falling under leadership, I always have to be mindful that pastor first, because there is a priority, pastor first. And if God were to remove that friendship, that's fine. I hold that loosely. But within our relationship, I definitely come to them and say, hey, I need some space to process this without you trying to fix it. Can we have that freedom? And at that point, I'm submitting that. I need people in my life because I don't have a lot of people to the side of me that are at the same level of leadership as me that I can process that with.
Yep.
So I have to be able to process up to my leader without them coming alongside and having to fix it.
Yep.
Now, sometimes I want them to help me fix it, but many times I just need to be heard. And they're so great to pastor and be a friend at the same time to say, this happened recently, like just within the last 2 weeks. Something was put on my plate that I was like, hey, at this season of ministry right now, I don't know if I have that in me. I don't wave that flag often, but the relationship is there where I can say, guys, capacity right now, I'm doing my best. But right now, I don't know if I can do that. And the great thing about that is they're like, okay, well then how can we help? What can we do? But I think you got to bring language to that relationship, whether it's how we process things together, how we process conflict, how we deal with, I mean, we're family friends. How do we deal with kids and family dynamics? I mean, it's highly relational no matter where you look.
Yeah.
I think if you hide that, don't talk about that, the enemy can step in and just start to divide that.
What would you say if you were sitting down having coffee with a leader and they fessed up and they said, I wish I had a degree of that with my pastor. I just don't know that we're there yet. I don't have that, but I want it. Is there one thing you would say to that leader that you'd want to speak into their heart? Because everyone's going to have a different outcome in their relationship with their pastor. Some may or may not only achieve a level of friendship. I guess what would you say to that leader?
I would say, are you ready for that? Are you ready for that relationship? Because that, you may think you want that until you have it. Because then you have to self-lead yourself and maybe have to lead up in a way that you may not be comfortable with.
That's really good.
You may not be comfortable having those conversations with your pastor who is now your friend. Can you in your heart love them as leaders to discern the difference? And so I would say, God, if I'm not ready to receive that gift, what do you need to do in me first?
Yeah, great.
To prepare my heart for that gift. I may need to have a level of discernment that I haven't developed yet.
Yeah.
Because you can't make relationship happen. You can't force it.
Yeah, and I also wonder if we want that sometimes for the wrong reasons. If we want that relationship with pastor because we're trying to fill some other relational void, and we just love and respect them, and we sometimes substitute them in to a relational void, and we hold them to a standard they didn't really ask to be held to.
Correct.
They don't need to be held to. I mean, I don't know I think we also have to think of motive.
For sure.
There. Why do I even want that?
Why do I want it? So check your heart, check your motive first, and then am I ready for it? Because you may not get what you think you're going to get. And so if you're comparing yourself to another pastor in that leadership and be like, hey, that's what they have. Well, that's a gift that God's given them, and he's given you different gifts.
That's very good. One more question on your relationship with Pastor Brandon. Have you ever, I'm sure you have, and I'm not asking for the dirty secrets here, but have you ever found yourself in a place of tension, or we just don't see this thing the same way? Obviously, he's the boss.
Right.
We understand all those kind of things, but how do you lead you in those moments? Like, where do you go and how do you process that?
Yes, there's definite moments of tension. And I think it's rarely is it tension of the vision.
Sure.
It's tension of how to accomplish the vision. What's the best way to accomplish the vision? And I serve under the leaders that they want to hear me. They have a desire to. And so they're comfortable with the tension. I want to be wise in my timing of when I speak about tension. If I'm always bringing up tension in this relationship, well, then maybe it's something within me.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's start there.
Very good.
If you run into tension because you love tension, well then, okay, maybe check your motive. If tension happens to just happen on strategy, well then for me, I want to listen more. I want to take in. If it could be dependent on the decision, but for me, it's timing. I want to be wise in how I present a difference of opinion. I want to be wise that those ears are ready to receive it. And even verbally saying, hey, do you want my opinion right now? Or do you just want me to listen? Even that question can cause tension.
Yeah.
Healthy tension that the leader says, no, I want your opinion. Okay.
Or I know.
Or no, I don't.
I just need you to get the job done.
I just need you to get the job done.
Yeah.
I see it this way. This is the way I want it done.
Yeah.
Go execute.
All right.
Great. Let's go do it.
All right.
But I think in a second chair, you have to measure your timing and you got to measure your words.
Very good. I want to shift gears and I want to talk about a bit of the current cultural moment that we're in.
Okay.
Just in our nation, our world has given us enough fodder to talk about things for days here. You know, I guess what I love to know a leader's bother. I love to know what just irks you.
Okay.
You see out there in our current kind of online conversation or the way maybe younger leaders are approaching their work or whatnot. Yeah. I think I know where you're going to go, but tell me, like, what's your current cultural moment bother? And then we're going to dive deep. I want to get you thoroughly irritated here for a minute.
Good. Let's get thoroughly irritated. A current bother. Recently I was hanging out with some young adults, maybe late at night around our house, and maybe not, I don't know. And some young adult guys who are recently graduated and they're starting their new life in the workplace.
Okay. Uh-oh.
And I'm just overhearing 3 or 4 guys talk, and these are sharp guys. They love the Lord. They're plugged into our church. High drive. I'm like, okay, what are they talking about? And I thought it was interesting, Brandon, the topic of conversation. They weren't comparing their roles. They weren't comparing their duties. They weren't saying, hey, tell me about your leader. No. You know what they were talking about was their paid time off.
Okay.
The topic of conversation
PTO.
of comparison was PTO.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I told Amy later, I just don't think when I was that age, we were comparing PTO plans.
Never one time ever in my entire life.
And was it a bother? Yeah, it was probably a funny moment, but it led to a deeper bother within me of.
What's the deeper bother?
There's a lot of content about rest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of content out there about how to slow down, how to not hurry, which is great. I think parts of that are very biblical. But there's not a lot of content out there on work, on how to work more effectively.
Yep.
We talk about leadership, but hard work is a part of leadership.
That's very true.
And I want to be cautious, and my bother would be to not overcorrect.
Sure.
And run the entire opposite way towards rest, hurry, Sabbath, which I'm a believer in Sabbath. I love rest. God provides rest. He wants to give me rest.
Right.
But I want to be cautious on overcorrecting. And my pastor, Brandon, is very passionate about this as well. And so I'd say it's a bother right now.
Don't you feel like we run the risk in that conversation of making rest itself our Lord? Yeah. I mean, to make it the end rather than the means to the end. Mm-hmm. I think you and I would both agree we all need days where we cease to produce. That's the best definition of Sabbath I ever heard, is a day where you cease to produce. Mm-hmm. I think we all would agree that is needed, that is right, that is of God, that is beneficial. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that that's the end. Do you agree with that statement?
I agree.
That it's so if that's not the end, if that's the means to the end, then what's the end? What's the goal?
I rest so that I can go back to work.
But is work itself the goal?
I believe that we rest so that we can go to work. And I believe God has put something inside of us to go and, as he did in the garden, go and govern the earth, multiply, Go and you have dominion over what God has put under you. Yeah. And I believe that's a spiritual principle.
Yeah.
And I believe that we've taken the idea of dominion and kind of said, well, you're not to dominate anything. Domination of something is bad.
Yeah.
When healthy spiritual dominion is really, really good.
Yep.
It's stewarding what God has put under you.
Yep.
And so I just think it's a slippery slope when we start talking more about rest. Stop.
I have, my recent wrestle on this is, I wonder if one of the outcomes we should be looking for is obedience. That rest is not the end, it's the means to the end. Mm-hmm. The end is doing everything God asked me to do. Mm-hmm. Nothing more, nothing less. Mm-hmm. And if rest facilitates that, yes. Mm-hmm. Rest facilitating my obedience. I will say, the more that Lindsay and I have achieved the ability to navigate our schedule, and different seasons of life, you can control your schedule more than others. The years that we have rested in rhythm were our best years. Mm-hmm. So there's no doubt about it that rest in rhythm is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Rhythms are great. I love a good rhythm. Mm-hmm. I'd love to hear more about your rhythms. I think everyone needs some great rhythms, as long as they're the support actor. In that, and in fact, something I started asking myself when I rest: am I truly resting to re-enter, or am I escaping? Because if you're constantly needing to rest to escape, I think we have a bigger issue. I agree. Do we have a misalignment issue going on? Or you're even just bringing up some just theology. Do we have a mindset toward this that needs to be changed somehow? And that might be a good audit for someone. When you get to your Sabbath, or you get to your vacation, or you get to your whatever, are you resting to re-enter, or are you resting to escape?
Yeah. There's a part of me, even with vacations, and maybe this is really sick. There's a part of me when I plan a vacation, like I want to get away with Amy. We got away to Mexico this year. There's part of me that's like, I want to earn that vacation.
It's just your Gen X talking.
Is it? Because I want to get to that vacation and be like, God, you got me to this vacation, and now that I'm here, I can fully enjoy it. Now, if it takes me 6-7 days to unwind to enjoy that vacation, that's messed up.
Sure.
But I also think, Brandon, I looked at my rest as, how can I rest better? Yeah. And so I made in a very, very challenging season when we were in a move-in season, building, all that, 2021, 2022, I was getting bad rest. Why? Because I was on caffeine all day to make it through my day. Yeah. So a new rhythm of my life, cut out caffeine. I know that's in church life, that's sinful. You're going to go to hell.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or I just don't know how you survive. I mean, not hell.
How about that?
I don't know how you survive. But anyways,
I'm still here somehow, some way. I'm not on caffeine.
You're hot yogaing. That's why.
New habits, so that I could truly embrace better rest.
Yeah. Well.
And so now I've got this ring that tells me every night my scorecard for rest.
Yeah. So let me just call it out and say it. I think we need to remember where the anti-work, where the over emphasis of rest comes from. Mm-hmm. It comes from the world's playbook, where we are oppressed by oppressors. Mm-hmm. Capitalism is oppressive.
Correct.
Makes us work.
Right.
Remember where this comes from.
Yes.
This is not who we are of.
No.
It's telling you that you're people who you work for are taking advantage of you. So choose what operating system.
That's right.
You're going to live out of.
That's right.
Because if you choose that mindset, you're going to live out of the world's operating system.
Correct.
And you're going to also get the world's results.
Well said.
I think you've challenged us to adopt a kingdom mindset about work. And remember where it comes from, and remember who we are of. Because you want God's outcomes, we need to do life God's ways. God's ways produce God's outcomes.
That's great.
I will say the church here that we're a part of, we started a series this past weekend on shalom, on the life God intended for you to have. Beautiful. And shalom is not just accurately translated as the word peace. That's actually inaccurate. The word shalom is actually the fullness of life as God intended for you to have. But if we want that, if we want the shalom, the peace be with you, God's life be with you, if we want that, we're going to have to do things God's ways. And we're going to have to adopt God's thoughts.
That's great.
On that note, I want to end with this. What's the greatest rhythm or habit you have in your life right now that is serving you well? Could be little, could be drinking a glass of water when you wake up in the morning.
Wow.
I don't know. But what's the number one rhythm that is serving you well right now in your life?
Man, the number one rhythm for me right now is definitely time with family, because my time with them is the window is starting to shrink.
Oof, what a thought.
Yeah, right. What a reality.
Yes.
So for me, rhythm right now is get home, be with family, because that window is shrinking. I think in ministry, my rhythm right now is I've embraced planning, scheduling more time to think, more time to plan. I've just been way more intentional in the last year with scheduling. So that would be a challenge. Family life, be home, be present. Work, schedule it. And even with some of the family stuff I'm scheduling, but schedule it, get ahead of it.
Great. And what's a rhythm you would like to develop? Where are we going next?
Man, rhythm. I would love to read more.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I would love to read more.
Finish books and
I want
not
to
start
listen.
them.
Yes, finish a book. Yeah. Start and finish a book.
Start and finish.
I've started your book.
Lord.
I need to finish your book.
Hey, I receive that.
I think reading would be something I could probably embrace more of, and I could benefit from it.
Hey, I receive it. I receive it. Hey, we love you.
Thank
We
you.
respect you. You are a great pattern for all of us in the second chair. You've poured into this ministry in a lot of ways this last year. Thank you so much. We love you. And thank you for showing us the way.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, wise one. We're grateful for you.
Love you and Lindsay.
Lady Second, we love you so much. I pray this conversation has built you up, encouraged you in some way. Of course, please hit subscribe, hit follow, join us on an upcoming episode of the Leading Second podcast. Head to leadingsecond.com for access to all resources that we have for you to use with your team. Until next time, Leading Second, let's run strong for the kingdom and lead in an uncommon way together. God bless you.
It's our honor to serve churches and leaders across the globe. We equip ministry leaders with the coaching, events, and resources needed to embrace their calling, get it right with their pastor, and lead in an uncommon way. You can visit our website, leadingsecond.com, to learn more about how we can come alongside you as you lead from the middle, from the second chair, for the second chair.